We talk a lot about falls. We worry about slippery floors and loose rugs. But we often miss the exact moment the fall begins. It rarely starts with a grand stumble. It usually begins with a small, everyday, thoughtless movement. The single movement we perform dozens of times a day without thinking, and the one that experts agree is the most common trigger for a catastrophic first fall. The quick pivot. The simple act of turning around. Think about the last hour. Did you turn quickly to answer a phone? Did you pivot at the kitchen counter? Did you twist in your chair to find the remote? If you spun your shoulders, locked your feet, and let your hips follow, you performed a high-risk move. We call this the locked foot twist. It is an old habit, trained over decades, and it is now actively working against your long-term stability. When we are younger, that twist relies on fast muscle and joint elasticity. As we age, that elasticity diminishes. The supportive stabilizing muscles weaken. A locked foot twist suddenly requires immense torque from your hips and knees. It immediately throws your inner ear's balance system off-center. If you twist quickly, your feet stay planted. They cannot perform their primary job, anchoring you and providing immediate feedback to your brain about your center of gravity. This split second, the moment the feet are locked and the shoulders are spinning, is when control is lost. This is the moment a minor instability becomes a major fall. The fear of falling is debilitating, but the consequences of the first major fall are life-changing. It changes your confidence immediately. It changes your decision-making. It changes how you move through your own home. It is the greatest single threat to independent living after the age of 65. This is why we must address the root cause, not just the symptoms. We are going to train you today to replace the dangerous locked foot twist with the foundational safety principle of mobility, the controlled foot pivot. This is not about slowing down your movement. It is about making every movement you make deliberate, efficient, and above all, safe. The goal is to eliminate the twist. We must force the body to move as a single coordinated unit. The spine must not turn unless the feet have already prepared the path. This principle is crucial, whether you are turning 90 degrees to load the dishwasher or 180 degrees to step out of bed. Let's visualize this dangerous habit in the most common scenario. The kitchen pivot. You are standing at the sink. The telephone rings on the wall behind you, requiring a 135-degree turn. The dangerous, instinctive move is to keep your feet exactly where they are and violently spin your torso and neck. You grab the phone, leaning slightly. If you catch the edge of the counter with your hip, or if your weight shifts slightly over the heel of the stabilizing foot, you are already falling. Your locked feet have no chance to recover. The controlled foot pivot changes this entirely. It ensures that 90% of your body weight is always properly distributed over the active moving foot. Before your shoulders ever move, before you engage your hips, you must first reposition your feet. This is the two-step choreography of safety. First, you identify the direction of the turn. Second, you move the foot closest to that direction into the lead position. This leading foot is what determines the stability of the entire pivot. It acts as the anchor. We must learn to use the foot structure, specifically the heel and the toe pads, to initiate the turn instead of relying on the rotation of the spine. When you use the foot to pivot, you maintain a low-centered stance. Your center of gravity remains directly over your base of support. Your head is steady. Your balance system remains engaged and responsive. When you twist with locked feet, your center of gravity instantly rises and destabilizes. The difference between these two turning habits is the difference between daily confidence and the potential for a life-altering injury. In the next part, we are going to break down the 3 fundamental controlled pivots you need to master today. We start with the simplest, the 90-degree pivot. This is the move used to safely transition from the kitchen counter to the refrigerator. We will focus specifically on the preparatory action, how to effectively shift your weight to the correct foot, and how to use the heel arch method to initiate movement without knee strain. We will start by examining exactly where your weight needs to land and how to use the toe box as your stability point for the safest turn possible. We now understand the scope of the risk. Falls are not random accidents. They are often the predictable result of neglecting the simplest movements. The problem lies in how we habitually turn. We learned in part 1 that the common mistake is the lazy twist. This twisting motion is our enemy. Let's look closely at why. When you stand still and rotate your shoulders or torso quickly, your feet act like anchors. They stay planted on the floor. This forces the rotation entirely into your knees, hips, and lower spine. In your younger years, your joints had cartilage like fresh padding. They could absorb that torque. Now, your joints may be stiffer, possibly dealing with arthritis or past injuries. They cannot handle that sudden rotational strain. Worse, when the body twists quickly while the feet are locked, your base of support narrows drastically. You are creating rotational momentum without moving your foundation. This split-second mismatch, where your head and inner ear register movement faster than your feet can react, is the moment the critical balance sensors fail. This is the recipe for the fall. The fall doesn't happen because you tripped over something. It happens because you asked your aging balance system to handle two conflicting signals simultaneously, the torso spinning one way and the feet rooted the other way. Where do these dangerous twists happen most frequently? Think about your everyday routines, the kitchen counter. You're holding a hot plate or a heavy pot. You need to turn 90 degrees from the stove to the counter. Because your hands are full, you resist moving your feet. You twist. You are already carrying a shifted weight, and that twist pushes your center of gravity past the safety margin. The bathroom. You are reaching for a towel rack located slightly behind you. Your feet are planted firmly on the bath mat or tile. You reach, you twist, and you lose sight of the floor momentarily. If your foot catches on the rug's edge, your body has no safe way to recover that fast rotation. Getting out of the car. This is a crucial daily maneuver. You sit, feet planted on the curb or ground, and you twist to pull your legs out. The uneven surface combined with the seated twist is extremely high risk, particularly if you rely on a cane or a walker immediately afterward. These situations share one thing. Speed and convenience override safety. You are focused on the task, not the transition. We must train the body to prioritize the transition. The fundamental change we must adopt is simple. The feet must always lead the turn. We are replacing the lazy twist with the controlled foot pivot. Think of your feet as the rudder of a ship. They must steer the entire vessel first. Your shoulders and torso simply follow the direction established by your feet. This prevents the rotational strain on your knees and keeps your base of support wide and stable throughout the change in direction. The pivot is not just about swinging the feet, it is about unweighting the feet first. This distinction is vital for safety. If your foot is fully weighted, meaning you are bearing your full weight on it, trying to spin it can wrench your knee or ankle. A truly safe pivot requires you to momentarily lift or lighten the load on the pivoting foot. This involves a subtle, conscious shift in weight. Let's begin practicing this crucial shift right now, even before we move to the full pivot technique in the next part. Stand tall, relaxed, with your feet shoulder-width apart. This is your safe, wide base. Now, without lifting your foot completely, practice shifting your entire body weight slightly over to your left foot. Feel the pressure change on your right foot. The right foot should feel lighter, almost ready to float off the floor. Hold that shift for a count of 2. Now, smoothly shift your weight back across your center, placing all your load onto your right foot. Feel your left foot become light. Repeat this slow side-to-side weight transfer 5 times. Focus on keeping your hips level and your gaze forward. You are moving your entire center of gravity, not just leaning. This is the hidden key to the safe turn. Before you pivot your feet, you must decide which foot is going to move. And then you must unweight that foot by shifting your body load smoothly to the stationary foot. The unweighted foot then becomes free to steer. If you skip this step, if you try to pivot a fully weighted foot, you risk falling forward or worse, twisting an ankle or knee joint. This weight transfer practice builds muscle memory for stability. It teaches your deep core muscles, the ones responsible for momentary balance, how to anticipate and manage a shift in direction. We are rebuilding your instinct. Your new instinct must be stop, shift weight, pivot feet, Follow with the body. In the next part, we will take this weight shift foundation and build the precise step-by-step technique for the safe foot pivot, looking at both small turns and complete 180-degree turns. We will also address how to use this technique when walking with a cane or walker. Keep practicing that smooth weight shift. It is the beginning of preventing your first fall. We have practiced the slow pivot. We know the mechanical difference between twisting and stepping. Now, we must face the biggest challenge of all, making the pivot automatic. You know the move when you are thinking about it, but when life gets busy, your old habit, the quick, dangerous spine twist, rushes back in. This usually happens when your brain is overloaded, when you are distracted, stressed, or focused on a dual task like carrying something. Think of laundry day. You are holding the heavy basket. Your hands are full. You turn quickly to drop the clothes into the washer. You forget the careful foot pivot entirely. Your feet stay planted firmly on the floor. Your spine and knees absorb all the twisting torque. That is the moment where instability begins. We need a powerful mental trigger. A quick reminder phrase that stops the old risky habit cold. Whenever you feel the need to turn your body more than 45 degrees, give yourself this command. Tell yourself this: stop, stepping feet. Say it out loud right now. Stop, stepping feet. This short phrase is your brain's safety brake. It forces the rotation down to your feet where it belongs instead of up into your spine and hips. Use this command every time you transition from one task to the next. The kitchen is one of the highest danger zones for turning. We often move there too quickly. You reach deep into the refrigerator, your upper body is now angled, you pull out the milk carton, shut the door, and need to walk back to the counter or the stove. What do most people do? They twist their torso around the heavy door. They take a large, sweeping step backward or sideways toward the destination. This is a triple risk. You are holding weight, your body is contorted, and your center of gravity is shifting wildly. Instead, execute the pivot before you start the next action. Get the milk. Close the refrigerator door slowly. Now pause. Before you take that first step toward the counter, execute 2 small controlled pivot steps. Shift your weight completely onto the lead foot. Face the counter directly. You should be looking exactly where you intend to walk. Then, and only then, start walking forward. This pause feels unnatural at first. It feels slower. But this small break saves critical microseconds of instability and prevents dangerous momentum from building. The surface you are standing on dramatically impacts how forgiving a twist will be. On smooth hardwood or tile, a sudden twist might allow your shoes to slide a bit. While bad for the foot, this slide sometimes prevents an immediate knee or spine strain. But consider thick carpet, or worse, a thin rug laid over thick carpet. The friction is immense. Your feet are anchored instantly, locked in place. If you try to twist your body, the destructive force is absorbed entirely by your knees and lower back ligaments. You must never attempt to twist and pivot simultaneously on thick carpet. You must lift your feet fully. If you are standing on a small area rug, practice finding the edges of it before turning. Turn only when both feet are fully on the rug or fully off the rug onto the stable, surrounding floor. Twisting a pivot when one foot is on carpet and the other is on tile is a guaranteed recipe for a knee strain or a trip. Always treat changes in flooring texture, from wood to rug or tile to bath mat, as a hard mandate to execute the full high lift pivot step. We have focused intensely on the mechanics of the feet, but we must address what covers them. Safe pivoting demands total stability from the ground up. What is the #1 enemy of the safe foot pivot? The backless slipper, specifically fuzzy slide-ons, worn flip-flops, or socks alone. These items encourage dragging, shuffling, and unstable turns because they do not grip your foot or the floor correctly. The pivot must be a deliberate lift-and-place motion, not a drag-and-swivel motion. If your footwear allows your heel to slide out of the shoe while you are turning, the stability of your pivot is immediately compromised. Look for shoes or house slippers that are completely enclosed at the heel, have a secure closure like a strap or laces, and feature thin, non-bulky soles. A secure shoe is a foundational requirement for a secure pivot. It locks the foot in place, ensuring that when you step and turn, the entire foot moves as one solid, predictable unit. We have mastered the pivot technique. We have secured our environment and our footwear. In the next and final part of this video, we tackle the most complex turning challenge, the advanced pivot. This is when you must pivot while carrying large objects, or pivoting while simultaneously using a crucial balance aid like a cane or a walker. How do we maintain our 3 points of stability when our hands are needed elsewhere? We will review the 3 key adjustments necessary for safe pivoting under heavy load. Stay with us. This final lesson ties everything together and ensures the pivot becomes a permanent, lifetime habit. We have spent time mastering the simple pivot. Now, we must make it automatic. We must integrate this technique into the moments when we are most distracted. The danger zones are always when we are multitasking. Think about carrying something. You are walking across the living room with a heavy laundry basket, or perhaps a box of holiday decorations. Maybe it is just a large mug of hot coffee. When your hands are full, your brain prioritizes the load. It forgets the feet. This is exactly when you rely on twisting your trunk to change direction. The load makes the twist much more violent and dangerous. The moment you feel resistance in your hands, you must slow down your feet. You are carrying the laundry basket. You reach the end of the hall. You need to turn right to get to the laundry room. Do not allow the torso to lead the movement. This requires immense focus at first. If your hands are full, you must use a wider, slower pivot. Stop completely. Plant both feet wider than shoulder width. Create a solid triangle base. Now, lift the toes of the lead foot just enough to clear the carpet. Do not lift the heel yet. Turn the whole foot 30 degrees in the direction you want to go. Repeat the process with the trailing foot, inch, inch, inch. It may take 3 small foot movements to complete the full 90-degree turn. That is 3 opportunities to regain stability instead of 1 instant of dangerous twisting. This slow, small motion is the secret to pivoting while under load. Now, let's talk about the critical role of your eyes and your head. Your inner ear, the vestibular system, depends on your eyes and your head remaining stable relative to the horizon. When you twist your body, your eyes often lag behind. They stay fixed on the spot you were just looking at. This sensory confusion happens milliseconds before your feet are forced to move. It creates a subtle, sudden imbalance. It is like your head is telling your body, "We are staying here," while your feet are screaming, "We are moving now." Your eyes must lead your pivot. Before you begin the foot movement, turn your head and your eyes completely towards the desired path. Lock your focus on a stable object in the new direction. This allows your vestibular system to recalibrate before the feet even begin to lift. If you are pivoting right, look right completely. See the doorway. Stabilize your vision. Then, pivot the feet. If you are pivoting left, look left completely. See the lamppost. Stabilize your vision. Then, pivot the feet. If you prioritize the head and eyes, the body follows naturally. This is the difference between a controlled rotation and a disorienting twist. We must apply this principle to the tightest turns we make daily. The bathroom, the closet, the narrow space between the bed and the dresser. In these environments, you often feel you do not have space for a full pivot. You think you must twist or shimmy. This is a dangerous assumption. Even in tight quarters, focus on keeping your feet close together, but always moving together. Think of your feet as a single coordinated unit. You are reaching into the corner of your closet. Your torso is bent slightly. You find the item you need. Now, you must turn 90 degrees to exit the closet. Do not pull yourself out by using the door frame. Do not let your knees stay planted while your shoulders turn first. Stop. Stand upright. Bring your feet side by side. Then, lift both heels just slightly, shifting your weight to the ball of the feet. Pivot both heels simultaneously in a tiny arc. Then, repeat. The resulting movement is slow, controlled, and safe. Your whole body moves as one column. This keeps your center of gravity squarely over your base of support, preventing the sudden shift that leads to a trip. The final critical area for pivoting integration is the transition from sitting to standing, especially in the car. Getting out of a low car seat forces nearly everyone to twist the knee, hip, and back unnaturally. You lean forward, twist the trunk to grab the door frame, and then heave your body out. This is a recipe for back injury and immediate instability upon standing. Instead, treat the car transition as a required controlled pivot. When getting out of the car, your goal is to have your entire torso facing the sidewalk or driveway before you put weight on your feet. Pull your legs out of the car first. Both knees should be bent, your feet flat on the ground outside the car. Now, lift your buttocks slightly off the seat. Plant your hands securely on the edges of the seat or door frame for balance. Now, pivot your entire body, hips, shoulders, and feet as a single unit so you are facing straight out. Only when your chest is perfectly aligned with your exit path do you execute the final upward push to stand. By pivoting while you are still semi-supported by the car seat, you eliminate the violent torque-filled twist that happens when you try to turn while standing on an unstable surface. This pivot mastery is not just about avoiding a catastrophe. It is about confidence. It is about eliminating the constant background worry about a fall. The more you practice the pivot in these new environments, while carrying things in tight spaces and exiting the car, the faster it moves from a conscious effort to an automatic reflex. We must keep practicing. In our next session, we are going to look at how we can reinforce this new stability using simple everyday tools you already have at home. We will learn how to turn those momentary trips into powerful stability markers.